What up, y'all? We are back at it. It is the Sportsroom Courtroom, man. We are back again. This is week 2, the kickoff of week 2. Well, no, it's not. It's week 1 because Kel is back in full effect, man. So look, you saw what happened with Kel last season. He came up a little bit short in the championship, but he told us football was going to be his season, and he's coming back for that belt. So Brandon, the champ, watch out. So today we got Paul Coleman going against Mikael Young in the Sportsroom Courtroom. And today's topic is Jalen Hurts going to be able to keep up his tremendous play? I know all of you have been seeing the way the Eagles have been playing. You know, that's my favorite team, number 1, and they're getting to it right now. So with that being said, Kel says yes, Paul says no. So we always start with the affirmative side going first. So Kel, please read us your opening statement.
You ready? Okay. All right. So my opening statement, I want to start off by saying the thing about Jalen Hurts right now in the Eagles is Jalen Hurts he's not even at his best right now. And the reason why I want to say that is I want to go back to last season. At the end of October, Jalen Hurts, at the end of October, they went on a run. They started off the season 2-5, and then they ended off the season 9-8. He went on a 7-3 run. And that was mainly because they started running the ball very well. And that opened up the pass lanes for Jalen Hurts. And from then, I did the math. From then, his QBR only dropped below 100 3 times. And it was like 88. And then it was in the 70s once and then the 80s another. From that point on, when they were able to run the ball, he was able to dime defenses up because they were running the ball. They ended the season last year first in rushing offense. This year, they have the same offensive line. Last year, they were ranked second. Last year, they were ranked 4th. This year, they came into the season ranked 2nd. That's not going to drop off unless injuries happen. That offensive line is always going to play good. They're always going to give them time to throw the ball. And the thing about it is, right now, they're 28th in rushing. They're not even running the ball good right now. Jalen Hurts is just playing great football right now. When they're able to get the run game to come along, it's going to be lights out. Also, another thing that's going to contribute to that is going to help when you have the 32nd rated schedule in strength of schedule, not strength of record, but they have the 32nd ranked schedule in strength of schedule this season. That's also going to help to continue that play because their schedule is going to drop off this season. Once they start running the ball, his passing yards are going to continue to go up because they're going to be able to play action the ball, and the success is just going to continue. It's not going to stop from here. That's really all I got.
All right. Great opening statement. Thank you, Kel. Paul, let's hear what you got.
That was good, Kel. That was good. However, it wasn't good enough. Jalen Hurts is my guy. I love me some Jalen Hurts, man. I was rooting for him at Bama. When they benched him, I believed in him, and he's doing great in the league. However, it's only week 3. There's not a lot of quarterbacks that's going to be able to keep up this play for 17 straight games, okay? First of all, they've played 3 teams that didn't make the playoffs the previous year. Jalen Hurts' record against playoff teams is 1-11. So whenever he plays against a playoff team, that's going to really show if he can play. Secondly, he hasn't played from behind yet, and that's because of his great defense. The minute he plays from behind, that's when he'll have to. That's when he won't be able to rely on that run game. That's when he won't be able to go off RPOs and play action. He's gonna have to really sit back and go through reads and throw the ball. And everyone knows the more you throw the ball, the more risk you have turning the ball over. It's going to happen. It just hasn't happened yet. He started off great, but like the topic says, can he keep it up? He won't be able to keep it up because that's the league. Naturally, it's not going to sustain. Like, yes, we can talk about injuries, hypotheticals. We can talk about all of these other things. Those things don't really happen until they happen. But bad coaching happens, being out-coached happens, and being down and not being able to control the game like he has the whole time will happen. And then we will really see if he can keep it up. And I don't think he will because of those things. He can still play very good up to that point, but not at this particular level. His defense has allowed 7 points, 8 points the last 2 games. It's not gonna be like that every single game. The hardest game they had was the first game of the year. And you seen
Tom. Thank you. No. I'll let you finish the sentence beforehand, and I cut you off after that.
Okay.
So yeah, if you can use that in your rebuttal. But thank you for that.
All right, we just did the opening statements. Now we have the rebuttals. Let's start it off with Mikel.
All right, first rebuttal round. I want to go with what you just said. You said down the line in the season, he's gonna have to start throwing the ball more. When defense starts zoning in on that, he's gonna have to, it gets dangerous when he throws the ball more. I just want to let you know, every game that he's played this season so far, he's thrown the ball over 30 times. His completion percentage in his first game, let me see, his completion percentage in the first game was 77.3%. He threw the ball 32 times in that game. The next game, his completion percentage was 63.3. He threw the ball 31 times that game. Then the next game, his completion percentage was 87.8. He's throwing the ball right now. And then you said they've been able to throw the ball this season because they've been able to do it off the RPO and stuff. They haven't been running the ball good right now. Right now in the league, they're ranked like in the bottom 10 of rushing right now. They haven't even ran the ball good. That's just Jalen Hurts making great throws, and he's continued to develop. That's it. That's all it is right now.
All right, Mikel. We heard your rebuttal. Now, Paul, you got a minute on the clock. Let's hear yours.
okay. Your direct response to that is that he is throwing the ball a lot. You can throw the ball a lot with a complimentary run game. Yes, they're ranked 28th, but you don't have to have a super dominant run game to keep a defense honest, because he can do that with his own legs. Secondly, how many touchdown passes has he thrown? He's thrown like 3.
Oh,
They run the ball all year. He'll get the chunk yards. They'll finish it in the end zone. It's going to be a point in time where he's not going to be able to do that every time, and he has to rely on his arm. But we have this facade that it's going to be that way the whole time because of how well they're playing. And on top of that, the defenses that they play haven't been good rush defenses anyway from this previous year and the starting year. So we have to take into account of how many times he's throwing the ball, but how many touchdowns is he throwing based on where he is on the field.
Go ahead, finish that.
Based on where he is on the field, down the distance, and what the coach is drawing up.
Okay.
All right. Are we getting into the cross-examination portion? We're starting off with Mikel.
But yeah, so basically last season he played 3 top 5 defenses and I'll just pick these last 5 games. He only threw 1 interception. I want to go back to this season. So far, you said he hasn't really thrown many touchdowns. That's because the big plays that they've gotten, and because one of them was in the Vikings game to AJ Brown, he didn't score. He got inside the 10-yard line. What'd they do? They ran the ball. There's no reason for him to risk turning the ball over in the red zone when they ran the ball. But my question for you is, if his success would not sustain, if it sustained last season, going on and making a wild card playoff with just Smith last year. No, not just Smith. My bad. If they have AJ Brown and Smith this year, and they didn't have AJ Brown last year, that success is going to continue. They have one of the best receivers on both sides now with Smith and Brown, and then their tight end is one of the best tight ends in the league. And as far as receiving yards last year, that success is going to continue. My question to you is, what does he have to do in order to show you that he can take care of the ball throwing it a lot of times if he's not throwing a lot of interceptions?
My whole argument was that he never would throw interceptions. My argument is that he runs the risk to throw more interceptions when he has the chance to throw the ball in certain situations more.
Throwing the ball 30 times,
they were the number 1 rushing team last year, so that's why they were able to have so much success against those.
And he was still throwing the ball 30 times a game.
That's fine, but you got to understand how he was throwing the ball. He wasn't throwing the ball deep. You know that. He was doing the same thing he's doing this year. RPOs, slants, anything else. Nothing down the field much.
That's my time.
All right, we can continue with cross-examinations. Paul, take the floor.
Even said that cool.
All right, Kale. Come down to what's the name of that thing? come down to the chair pit. So Jalen Hurts is a young quarterback that still has time to grow and become a better quarterback, which means that he has the ability to struggle.
Correct.
What makes you think that when teams will get more film on a player, how they're succeeding, won't find ways to minimize what he does? They're going to start sending spies. They're going to start accounting. They're going to start playing shell coverages. They're going to allow everything in front of them and not behind them. They're going to be like, let's make Jalen Hurts beat us with his arm because they've seen so much of him working the short field. Let's see what he does with intermediate throws where he has to make a couple reads. So my question to you is, do you think that a player like that won't struggle once they have that opportunity?
I think he absolutely has the advantage not to struggle. One, because of the weapons he has around him. Two, because of the offensive line he has in front of him. Rated second this year, fourth in the league last year. Same old line. Also, because last year, at the end of October, they were 2-5. Everybody thought, oh, he's a bust. All we got to do is make him throw the ball. Well, guess what team did? They started making him throw the ball, and he won a 7-3 run last year and got him the wild card spot last year. People said the same exact thing. He did it with less weapons, and they had some injuries at receiver last year. This year, he has healthy receivers, the second best offensive line in the league, and he's just grown as a quarterback, and they have not started running the ball well yet. And when they start running the ball, that's just going to open up pass lanes. And when they start doing both well, teams aren't going to be able to – they're not going to be able to guard that. They're going to have to pick one. If they want the Eagles to start running and they get that run game going, that's going to be just as successful. But when they're passing the ball and if they – oh, my bad. Yeah, my bad. I'm sorry, bro. I'm getting hurt.
Nah. It's all right. I was trying to make sure you knew what was going on. All right. So, okay, great cross-examination by Paul and Kel. Y'all doing what we need to hear, you know. So, what's next is the rebuttals. Kel, I know I cut you off at the end of that.
Nah, you're good,
so
bro.
if you can, go ahead, go back into your statement to Paul. So you got a minute on the clock. Starts with you.
I got you. I don't even think I'm going to need to take all the time. I just want to continue to harp on the points that I've made. For one, he has experienced a vet offensive line in front of him that just is going to give him the time to throw. And that's the perfect situation for a quarterback that you say needs to continue to develop a young quarterback. He has an experienced vet line in front of him. He also has additional weapons that he didn't have last season. They added A.J. Brown, who can be a deep threat. We all know Devontae Smith can also be a deep threat. The only thing that has to happen is he needs the time to make those throws. If teams want to come up and try to stop the run because they're not stopping the run, they're not running the ball well right now, he's going to be able to make those deep throws. If teams want to make him throw, they're going to just run the ball. So teams aren't going to just be able to sit back and just make Jalen Hurts throw now because they know the Eagles are going to start running the ball well. And then lastly, what I was saying earlier is just everything is just it's just in his hands right now because, like I said, they have the 32nd rated strength of schedule right now. It's not like they're finna go run through a gauntlet for him to continue to play great. So that's my rebuttal.
All right. Thank you for cutting off right at the time. I was just about to tell you. Perfect timing. All right, Paul, it's on you for your rebuttal. Let's hear it.
So you're based on your logic, because the argument is, can he keep up this level of play? Based on where he is right now, you're saying that he can do this for 17 straight games. It's not possible. Through technicality, even if he struggles for 2 games, he'll move down in the MVP race. So let's say he's at 2 or 1 right now, right? It's between him and, or let's say Tua or Lamar Jackson. All he has to do is just throw an interception. And now he literally hasn't kept up the same play. Like, it doesn't even have to take a lot for him to keep up this level of play because it's such a high level. It takes anything less than that for it not to be the same. I'm not saying that he's going to plummet or he's going to just tank the whole season, because there have been teams that have started undefeated and have ended up stinking in the playoffs. Steelers, Vikings in 2016. In 2016, and that's okay, but we're saying the level that he's playing at right now, can it be sustained? It literally can't be unless he literally plays the same way for the entire season. And realistically, no matter how good of an O-line you get, you're going to face a great D-line. You're going to face some great DBs. And they're not going to always have the time. He's not going to always have the time that's been allotted to him this season. And the minute he struggles, he will officially not be playing at the same level. It can be for one stretch of the season, 2 or 3 games. They can be 10-0 from that point. If they go and then if they win those next 3, if he struggles, he still will be down further in the MVP race because how he individually is playing.
Time. Way to finish on time, Paul. That's what I like to see.
All right, boys. So now we're in the dispute portion. So, Mikhail, now that you're back on the season 2, the people talk and we listen. So right now we're gonna go at it, and I just want to hear you guys' opinion. Make it clean, but also be dirty. Let's make sure you guys have clear points. All right.
Yeah.
Mikhail, you can start.
Are we good? All right.
Go.
I was waiting for the time to start. There we go. All right. So basically what I'm saying is, Paul, like how you were saying, it's just going to take one portion of the season for him to struggle and blah, blah, blah. I get what you're saying. But what I'm saying is that the opportunity for him to struggle right now isn't presenting himself, because if he's throwing the ball this well and they're not running the ball well already, that just means that he's just throwing the ball at a high level right now. When they do begin to run the ball well, in which everybody knows the Eagles are going to be able to run the ball well. Once they do that, that's just going to allow Jalen Hurts to relax, and the pressure is not going to be him as much. All the pressure is on him right now to throw the ball because they're not running it well. So once they are able to run the ball well, he's going to be able to throw the ball with less pressure because he knows they can either run or pass, and he's going to have defenses guessing. Play action is going to work so well. That's going to make DBs come up when they do start running the ball well, and those deep shots are going to be there. And like I keep saying, this offensive line is going to give him the time that he needs. He's not going to have to scramble as much as he does. He can do that if he wants to get out of the pocket, not because he has to. And that's just gonna add to just being able to allow him to relax and just play Jalen Hurts football.
Whatever. Let's go through the gauntlet, because on paper, 32 teams, 32nd ranked sprint schedule, that's so cap. He is playing some very good defenses, some very good D lines, some very good corners. They got the Jaguars next week. That's not an easy game. They got some. You can't tell me they're not. They are going to struggle. The more great D lines and great defenses they play, they're going to get more film on him. They're going to find different ways to scheme. He has the Jaguars. That's the issue. Don't care about the Cardinals. He'll have a field day against him. The Cowboys are literally great on defense. The Steelers will always be great on defense. Texans, I give you that. Commanders, even though they got smacked last week by them, they'll come back. That's a division game. The Colts defense is really good. Titans defense, okay. The point is, they have to play the Cowboys twice and these other good defenses. He's gonna run the risk of facing these better defensive ends that have gotten the best of a Lane Johnson a couple times in order for them to create problems. Secondly, just because they're ranked 28th in total rushing does not mean Jalen Hurts isn't creating plays himself. If Jalen Hurts is literally their rushing, that means that he's still presenting that much of a two-way, a dual threat. Now, if they find a way to stop him from doing what he's doing, now you're really making him one-dimensional, and that's when you create even more problems with a pass rush in a defensive back. But you're going to get more of that opportunity the more tough defensive teams you play. Now, in total teams, they can suck, which could mean there's 32nd ranking, but those are some good defense teams. Those are some good defenses and good defensive players that they're going to play.
I just want to get this out before the time runs. As of Tuesday, September 27th, ESPN, they posted this, and basically it's the average opponent rank right now for strength of schedule. The Eagles are right above them. Their average rank for opponents is 19.8 right now in the league out of 13 teams.
Yeah, I just said because the teams could be bad, but he don't play the whole team.
All right.
He plays the defense.
All right, time. Y'all both got y'all points across. Look, we're looking for a dogfight, and that's what we getting.
Wait, is there one more round, or was that it?
No, that was it, bro. That's what I'm telling y'all. Y'all supposed to get freaky in that round.
Yo, cut that lame man nigga off.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie. I feel pretty confident.
Wow. All right. Well, real quick, we gonna, you know how we do. We gonna do a judge's deliberation, talk it through, and then we'll come back with our results in a second. So,
I won the sportsmanship award because
Hey.
Mute your mic.
no. You shut up.
all right. Well, I don't know what happened while we were gone, but we're back from the break. The deliberation was crazy, so I can't wait to hear how y'all gonna react to this. So I'll start first.
Oh God.
With who I think won this debate. Overall, great debate per usual. You know, we always have great content here on the Sportsroom Courtroom, right? But Kel, you did a great job of talking about how Jalen Hurts is he's playing like a dog right now, right? And the biggest thing that you're bringing up is Philly hasn't really found their run game yet. So for them to be missing that part of the offense and Jalen Hurts is still getting to it is like, oh wow, that's actually the biggest thing in terms of just facts, right? It's just like when they start running the ball, Jalen Hurts is probably going to throw that even more. So it's just like, wow. But Paul came back and said that they haven't really been playing nobody, no big time like defense. You feel me? Like, and maybe that he didn't say it specifically like that, but the schedule's going to get tougher. They're going to play some real guys coming up soon. He brought up Dallas specifically. Dallas, they are some dogs on D. And I'm afraid of that personally for Philly. Then in the cross-examination, Kel, I think the biggest thing you said was you gave Paul a taste of his own medicine, right? So you talked about running the ball. You talked about their receivers and the tight end, right? But then the biggest thing about that was the O-line. And Paul loves a good O-line, baby. Don't you, Paul? You sure do.
But, and I know he does. He always talks about the Eagles O-line.
Yep.
I knew I would get him. I knew.
Yeah, exactly. He definitely does.
I ain't mad at him. I love him.
Yeah. But let me just slide to the end. I'm going to just say it real quick. Oh, man. Paul did a great job by talking about the technicality, right? He did say, hey, 1 game, 2 games, 3 games, whatever it is, it's not the same level. And I'm not saying he went off a technicality. Paul did bring up some good points, and I think we'll see what we're talking about. But, you know, he hasn't really faced adversity yet, and that's why I'm saying Paul is our winner for this week, at least from me. But we still got 2 more judges to hear from.
Uh-oh. Okay, Paul. All right, so I'm gonna just make this short and sweet. Kel, where you at, bro? I need to see your face. All right, there we go. All right, so I'm gonna just come out and say this real quick. I think it's Kel won this round for me, and I'm sorry, Paul. I'm sorry, bro. But look, these are the main reasons. So Kel talked about that last year. Even though Jalen Hurts has played his last 5 games, he only threw below 100%. So that was 3 times, right? And so you talked about coming into this. You talked about these next teams that he's going to play, and he's shown that he can outperform what you think that he will do. And then one second, bro. And then he has a great surrounding surrounding, what's the word? Help me out.
Supporting cast.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
All right, so we got an O-line that's dogs, and then a receiving core that are dogs as well.
Dogs.
Yeah, so for that reason, I'm gonna go with Kel. Sorry, my boy.
Wow.
Omar, I thought we were boys, bro.
Mute your mic, bro.
All right, bet. All right, it was a great debate. Both of y'all had some great points, especially Kel. Kel said that he's been phenomenal throwing the ball these past 3 games. Like he was his highest percentage was 87, and I think his lowest was even under 60. But you're saying that he's only going to get greater when the run game gets established. But that's kind of like a hypothetical. Speaking for Paul, because Paul made a good point saying that the more you play, the more defenses are going to key in on how you play. So there's no way he's going to be able to keep throwing these numbers. So I'm giving it to Paul.
Bro, this guy's neighbors are going to be screaming at
Hey
him.
guys. Dub, you're like 1-3, bro.
I'm 1-2. So shut up. First of all, it feels real good, man. You know, I should have won last week, but I ain't gonna speak too much. But I'm lit to fight another day, man. Next week, it might be a sweep next week. I got some momentum. hey, Kel, I'm starting to run the ball. I'm starting to run the ball.
All right. Well, y'all heard it here first. Y'all heard it here first. Great debate this week on the Sportsroom Courtroom. Can't wait for y'all to see what's coming up next. You know we are online every Monday on every podcast, major platform, streaming everywhere, YouTube every Friday. Just tune in. You know what's coming. Giveaways coming soon. That's all we got for right now. But thank you again for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on the Sportsroom Courtroom. Court is adjourned.